Hello, my friends. I've just discovered that the mainstream media here, I think it's Channel 9 or Channel 7, they're planning to do a hit piece on me and electric cars. It's all just made up stuff where they've taken an altercation between me and someone in the media who thinks that there's some famous person, incredibly arrogant dude. Anyhow, and they've basically cut and edited what actually happened between us to completely change the narrative. So I'm telling you from firsthand experience right now, the mainstream media are just making stuff up. They're completely lying. And speaking of lying though, car makers have been caught lying. Volkswagen and Stellantis just received a 500 million US dollar fine after Mercedes-Benz snitched on both of those car brands. They actually went and told the truth. Volkswagen received the largest fine of $138 million. Mercedes escaped punishment by ratting everyone out, says Car Scoops. So what's all this about? Well, let's have a look. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you all. I hope you've had a good day. My day has been... Actually, I should explain to you. Today, my day was taking Shanna to the hospital to see the oncologist, and they talk about what they're doing and how you are and blood test results and all that stuff. And then she did chemotherapy. Then getting the boys from school, taking them to their drama classes. Then after their drama classes, I do guitar lessons with them. And then they do a bit of exercise outside. We went down to the beach, went for a walk, and then I feed them, get them to bed, and now I'm working. So it has been a pretty full-on day. April is apparently going in a crazy way. This is not an April Fool's story. This is actually true. The European Union has fined 15 car manufacturers and the European Automobiles Manufacturers Association 460 million euros, that's about 800 million Australian dollars, for participating in a long-lasting cartel concerning end-of-life vehicle recycling. According to the European Commission, 16 automakers and the European Automobile Manufacturers Association entered into anti-competitive agreements and engaged in concerted practices related to the recycling of end-of-life vehicles. In particular, the group agreed not to pay car dismantlers for processing vehicles as they believed this was already a sufficiently profitable business. Basically, they want people to buy new cars, and they tried to make sure that this would actually happen. The companies and organization reportedly shared commercially sensitive information on their individual agreements with car dismantlers and coordinated their behavior towards dismantlers. They hid recycling information from the public to prevent consumers from considering this when actually buying a vehicle. So this is breaking the law, and apparently there are laws that say for the last owner of an end-of-life vehicle to be able to dispose of it at no cost with a dismantler, they should be able to do that. If needed, automakers are supposed to actually foot the bill. That's part of Europe's rules. The directive also says consumers are required to be informed about the recycling performance of new cars. This coordinated effort reportedly went on for more than 15 years and involved BMW, Ford, Honda, Hyundai, Kia, Jaguar Land Rover, Mazda, Mercedes, Mitsubishi, Opel, Renault, Nissan, Stellantis, Suzuki, Toyota, Volkswagen, Volvo, General Motors, Tata, and apparently Geely. I don't know about that. Anyway, as for the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, it reportedly acted as a facilitator of the cartel as it organized numerous meetings and contacts between car manufacturers involved in the cartel. Mercedes-Benz was an active participant. They ratted out their co-conspirators in exchange for full immunity. The European Commission says this saved them around $40 million in fines. That's not much money for a company of Mercedes-Benz size. That's literally pocket change. But if you're Mercedes-Benz right now, you're in a bit of... Mercedes-Benz financially, they're in a bit of trouble right now. So maybe they're trying to count all their pennies and make sure that they can pay back their loans to banks. Anyhow, Honda, Mazda, Mitsubishi, and Suzuki had lesser involvement in the scandal, while Renault had explicitly asked for an exemption from the agreement not to advertise the use of recycled material in new cars. Stellantis, Mitsubishi, and Ford cooperated with the investigation in exchange for a softer punishment. Volkswagen was the biggest loser apparently the ones who did this the worst. They were followed by Renault Nissan, who were fined about $100 million. Stellantis was fined around $81 million. The Executive Vice President of the European Commission for a Clean, Just and Competitive Transition said, "Today we have taken firm action against companies that colluded to prevent competition on recycling," which is pretty screwed, right? Pretty nasty that they do this. Prevent competition on recycling. It sounds to me like this is how is this all that beneficial for them? I mean, I don't really understand the point of all this. It doesn't sound to me like this was a smart thing to do. But anyhow, these car manufacturers coordinated for over 15 years to avoid paying for recycling services by agreeing to not compete with each other on advertising the extent to which their cars could be recycled, and by agreeing to remain silent on the recycled materials used in their new cars. In other words, they've really just done this in order to avoid having to pay for their cars to be recycled. But that said, most places I've found, when you go to recycle your car, usually you don't have to pay anything. They're like, "Oh, thanks, we'll take the car off you. Here's $100. See you later." Even if the car is basically undrivable. I've found that experience here. That's the norm here in Australia. And I wouldn't have thought it would cost Volkswagen, Stellantis, these huge companies. I wouldn't have thought it would cost them all that much money to actually have their cars recycled. But anyway, the point is this. Legacy automakers, they're like the media. They don't tell the truth, do they? You know what? I mean, let's put it out there. Let's say this. Do you guys think Toyota has been telling the truth? Back in 2014, when they said they'd have solid state batteries in their EVs in 2018, and then they said all their EVs in 2020 would have them, and then 2021, and they kept on saying it, and they're still saying it today. Now they're saying it's 2026, then they're changing the goalpost, 2027. Now I'm sure they're going to change it, and it's just going to go on and on forever. I mean, there's many car manufacturers constantly making this kind of stuff up, and I don't know why we don't hold them accountable, making up stories, making up ideas and concepts. I mean, imagine if Tesla tomorrow, Elon Musk comes out and says, "Guys, I promise you, we have a solid state battery. It's going to be in cars in less than 2 years." Imagine what would happen to Tesla's stock price. It would go ballistic. Everyone would say, "Wow, Tesla, they've cracked the code. The new Teslas is going to have 1,000 miles of range. They're going to be able to charge in 5 minutes. Wow, Tesla, stock price to the moon." So the fact that companies like Toyota and other companies, even Nissan, Honda, have made similar claims, to me that they don't get have any consequences for this, I don't understand. I just think, why are we not holding these car companies accountable for all the misleading things that they've been saying for the last 20, 30 years? We should be. It's good to see the European Union actually doing that, at least to some degree. Let me know if you agree in the comments.